I'll ask you no questions.
Okay.
Okay, hello everyone. First, let us recite two words spoken by Buddha together. The two words spoken by Buddha. There used to be the light in the great universe. The light is the energy of a Buddha. People can live by this energy, and Buddha's energy has made human history. It will be supplied eternally. This eternal light comes from heaven and prevails on earth. This is the light of heaven through the prism of Buddha. There appear 7 colors of rainbow, arching over in the sky. Setting. Red is the color of justice. Purple is the color of obedience. Blue is the color of thinking. Green is the color of harmony. Silver is the color of progress. These 7 colors help each other, and there appears Buddha land. Buddha land is shining brightly because of gathering of bodhisattvas. This is the land of love or the land of mercy. This is the land of wisdom or the land of teaching. Especially, this is the land of souls rest in peace. Real souls are the children of Buddha. The children of Buddha became real human beings. Real human beings have spirituality. The spirits are immortal powers. The spirits are immortal forces. The spirits are real entities. The of the spirits. It means you are the boat sailing down the great river. The great river is a symbol of the course of lives. Each of you sails down as a small boat. So you need a boatman. If it were not for your own boatman, you surely go aground. This boatman really needs your mind. If your mind makes a mistake, the boat breaks into pieces by a large rock, and you also need a bamboo pole of the true words. When you go down a rapid stream, you need to pump in a stream. Then you can change your course. The true words means the teaching of Buddha. Buddha enlightenment spoke the true words, and Buddha's teaching became a gold mine. This gold mine suggests various teachings. These are another expression of Buddha's truth. It brightens up your days. But to put it another way, the fruits of Buddha's mercy. All of you, listen to me. Never lose a way, now and forever. The guiding hand has already waved. Please follow this white hand and go straightly on and on. Your lives are not limited to this world only. They have three aspects: the past, the present, the future. Your past have already gone by, yet still your mistakes will be kept in your minds. That is the reason why you should understand other people contrary. Both are children of Buddha, and brothers and sisters. Now then, love each other. Let's bring up each other, and it's time to forgive each other. This is the eternal law, which penetrates the present and the future. Yes, indeed, the light of the dark night. The dark night of this world is hell. It is also the sending unknown down to this world. The sun of the truth is scheduled to rise. Now we are watching rising sun. It will shed light to the future, to invite sad people to Buddha land. Now here I command. There shall not be conflict in this world. There shall not be distrust in this world. There shall not be crime in this world. There shall not be evil spirit in this world. There shall not be the devil in the next world. People love each other, live harmoniously, believe in one another. That world is utopia. All of us could be the light of bodhisattvas. Believing that light has reality. Believing that love has reality. Believing that the truth has reality. These are the facts that should be conveyed. We, the light of bodhisattvas, get together, work together, to mind, and live in tune with Buddha's words. Here we vow to do so. Okay, thank you very much for joining me today. And today I'm going to talk about the new book, The Laws of Health, the most important book for this. Japanese version has already published, and Yoshi has already read it. And English version will soon arrive. And the first chapter is Introduction to Health. The second chapter, The Laws of Health. And the third chapter is Curses, Spells, and Possession. And the fourth chapter, The Fight Against Devils. And last chapter, a message from Savior. And last chapter is actually guided by Elohim, yeah, who has experienced the hardship of humankind 300 million years ago. And he again gave us the messages through Master to humankind, yeah, who are now going through the tribulation. Okay. And to talk about what will happen from now on, and also how to survive in these harsh times based on the chapter 5. Okay. Sorry. Recording. Okay, so the vision of 2023, the year of the Lord of Hell. So what will await us in the coming year? According to the laws of hell, chapter 5, Master said that now Earth is in great trend in the 2020s. I have to say the crisis humanity is facing is getting more serious. To state the conclusion first, regardless of which option we choose, we might have to face harsh outcomes. And humanity is already experiencing times of tribulation, and this will continue for some time. Many things will continuously happen and make it very difficult for humans to live. Pandemics, war, flood, food shortages, abnormality hot or cold weather, typhoons, floods, and many other unknown phenomena might suddenly strike humanity. From now on, the heavenly world will send. There is a possibility that humanity will become extinct. The day will come unexpectedly. And please know that we are running through a crisis now. Yeah. So Master is giving those messages not to scare us, yeah, but to make us for coming crisis. Okay. So actually, what will happen from now on? First, coronavirus pandemic will continue for another 2 years. And not only that, new variant or new virus will arise. So now the people in Europe are thinking pandemic is going to subside. But not only China, but North Korea and Ukraine and Pakistan might use the biological weapon. They also have the viruses as a weapon. And because virus, yeah, those biological weapons cannot be seen. So people don't know when and how. So this causes the fear in their mind. And fear is one of the elements of hell. Yeah. So if fear spread on the surface of the earth, at the same time, hell also spreads on the surface of the earth. Yeah. So whatever happens, we shouldn't have fear. We shouldn't be scared. And now, many people, 8 to 9 billion of people are already infected by the coronavirus, and millions of people are dying due to the coronavirus. And now because of the New Year's holiday, many of them are now going abroad with virus inside. Let's see.
Three of his close relatives recently passed away after testing positive for COVID-19.
There's no holiday mood. The people are suffering. People are so anxious, and people going to drugstores and medical facilities, hospitals, clinics, try as hard as they can to get what they need. That is a reality. Yeah, it is sad.
The sudden lifting of COVID-19 restrictions in December triggered a wave of infections in China. Hospitals are struggling to treat patients, and crematoriums are overflowing, with people complaining of unusual delays. The government says about 60,000 people have died in hospital from the virus in recent weeks. But analysts say the easing of China's zero-COVID policy could result in more than 2 million deaths. The WHO has accused Beijing of underrepresenting the scale of the outbreak.
The international community, including the WHO, based on the principles of lawfulness, timeliness, openness, and transparency.
Authorities say they are working to strengthen health facilities ahead of the holiday period. Some fear the travel rush will lead to a new surge of infections in rural areas, especially among the elderly. The government has issued guidelines discouraging large gatherings and any trips that expose older people and pregnant women, but they've stopped short of enforcing any bans. For Jung, the warnings are too little, too late. Adding to his frustration, the knowledge his loved ones were probably not added to the official virus death toll. On his aunt's death certificate, the cause of death is described as heart failure. Katrina Yu, Al Jazeera, Beijing.
So after this New Year celebration, definitely another wave will come to the world. Now, the war is going on between Russia and Ukraine. And if NATO continue supplying weapons to Ukraine, Russia will, it's highly possible that Russia will use the nuclear weapons within this year. And also, North Korea may attack South Korea or Japan with missiles. And there's also a possibility of Chinese invasion of Taiwan. And also, as I will mention later, there is a uprising in Iran now. So the government is eager to distract the attention of the people to somewhere. So for this reason, Iran wants to wage a war against some country. And Israel, now new prime minister, has a strong desire to invade Islamic countries surrounding Israel. So there's also a possibility of the war between Iran and Israel. And there is also a long-lasting dispute over the land between Pakistan and India. And these wars might develop to the world war. And as a result, Massa said that Ukraine and North Korea will disappear. And now Western countries are trying to demonize Putin as the source of all evil. But actually, in the book, The Unknown Stigma, Part 2, Odin, one of the blind souls of Elkan Tare, he gave the messages to, and what he said is, Rasputin means Putin in the novel. What's Putin? It is I who is trying to save Russia from atheism and materialism and to guide this country toward new prosperity. So God, or El Cantare, has no intention to collapse the country, Russia. And this is the mission of, this is actually the mission of Putin, to protect his materialism and bring prosperity. He also said, hold strong faith and pressure Zelensky. Zelensky means Zelensky in the novel. So pressure Zelensky to leave the political arena. The Ukrainian people are your brothers and sisters. Open a path so that together Russia and Ukraine can Putin when seen from God. So he is not a devil, he's not a demon. He's actually still communicate with the heavenly world. On the other hand, Zelensky, he doesn't have enough faith in God, and he is guiding his country to the wrong path. And third, the Great Depression might occur. If the world economy, because of the pandemic, because of wars, the world economy will definitely decline to the scale of the Great Depression. And if this happens, this depression will invite further conflicts between the countries. And also natural disasters, the warnings from heaven to the current state of humankind. When seen from heaven, what are the problems of humankind? First, materialism and atheism that spread many countries and many races and ethnic groups. And democracy without God. Happy Science is promoting democracy, but the prerequisite of democracy is faith. People are seeking the will of God. And so mass media democracy. In modern society, mass media has a very great influences on the people. And mass media can easily misguide the people intentionally. That happens also in United States. And as a result, the hell is expanding rapidly. And not only hell, there are many spirits on the surface of the earth who cannot go to heaven or hell because they don't believe the existence of the spirit world. So after death, they don't know where to go. They just stray the surface of the earth. Okay? So things heaven is giving us the many warnings, and this will cause continuous natural disasters in many different places of the earth. Yeah. So those things await us from now on. Yeah. And it will continue not just for a few years, but will continue for decades. Yeah. So what should we do? Yeah. How to survive? In order to save others, first we have to save ourselves. Otherwise, we cannot take actions to save others. So now let us think how we can survive this tribulation. So what kind of mindset we should have to survive the era of crisis? First, we should firmly establish belief. This is also mentioned by Master in the book, The Road of Hell. Last February, Jesus Christ also gave us the messages or teachings titled To Those of Little Faith. And in that lecture, Jesus Christ told us that your faith shall be tested. You will be tested. What is your true thinking? At the time, different you that you never expect will appear. Yeah. Have you ever tested? Do you think you have ever tested? Richard?
Yes, I think so. I was being tested for a couple of years.
Couple of years.
I think so. It's before I met Happy Science.
I see. So after the test, you
Choose.
you met Happy Science.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I see. But even after you met Happy Science,
Yes, still being tested.
But Jesus Christ says there will always come a time in your lifetime where you will be tested. So from now on, not only you, but all of us will be tested. Especially our faith will be tested if it's genuine or not. Faith. You might know the current situation of Iran. The people are protesting against the government for their freedom. So now I'd like to show you the video, what's going on inside Iran. That is rarely reported to other countries.
آقا هر چی اومد بیرون بزنید. هر چی رو خونی کوچه رو بزنید. برای ما آخر میگم بود. برای توی کوچه رقصیدن، برای ترسیدن به وقت بوسیدن، برای خواهرم خواهرت خواهرامون، برای تغییر مغزها که پوسیدن، برای بیپولی، برای حسرت یک زندگی معمولی، برای کودک زباله‌گرد و آرزوهاش، برای این اقتصاد دستوری، برای این هوای آلوده، برای ولیعصر و درختای فرسوده، برای پیروز و احتمال انقراضش، برای سگهای بیگناه ممنوعه، برای گریه های بیوقفه، برای تصویر تک آینده، برای این بهشت اجباری، برای نخبه های زندانی، برای کودکان افغانی، برای این همه برای غیر تکراری، برای این همه شعارهای تو خالی، برای آوار خونه های پوچاری، برای احساس آرامش شبای طولانی، برای غوصای اعصاب و بیخوابی، برای مرد میهن آبادی، برای دختری که آرزو داشت پسر بود، برای زن.
Thank you very much for watching. So until today, hundreds of the Iranian people, especially young people, have been arrested and imprisoned. Killed by the military, armed police, and also the thousands of people were arrested and imprisoned and executed one by one. And in this harsh reality, how Iranian Muslims are doing and strengthen their faith. Nima will share with us his experience.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming to this seminar today. Actually, as you saw, there has been a very hard period of time for Iranian people, and it's already more than like 150 days of suffering. And during all this time, I have been in contact with almost all the members on a regular basis, but it was really difficult because the internet in Iran was very severely suspended. Of course, it is very costly for the Iranian government to totally cut down internet permanently, because there are many infrastructure like banks and many like basis for the governance of a country is based on internet. But lowered the speed of internet to a level that even sending one single picture to Iran would be really, really difficult in most of the times. So I adjusted my time with all the Iranian members and I stayed on call so that in case that anyone has internet, I can talk to them. During the past 150 days, there have been like hundreds of times when people called me during midnight, because at that time they had internet and I had to. But I talked with Mr. Muruka and I realized the only thing that can save Iranian people, of course, we conducted Kigan for protection of Iranian members and also for sealing evil spirits. But at the same time, Muruka-san told me that what can save Iranian people from inside is faith and unshakable mind. So with like uh, a mind that has invincible thinking by outside circumstances. So I try to nurture Iranian members as much as possible, even though they have been suffering. So as Mr. Muruka mentioned, one of the members, she was arrested during the first days of protest. And based on my experience, because I have followed the news very closely, when somebody is arrested, they will very barely come out alive. It is very rare. And they will be sexually molested. They will be very unamazing situation that people in the West, they cannot even imagine, very violently. And I have seen videos that they threw the bodies of people who have been abducted in the streets, in the Persian Gulf, in the sea. So I've seen videos of helicopters flying over the sea and just throwing tens of bodies into the sea so that there is no trace that what has happened to them. So what is happening inside Iran, somehow it is more horrendous than China. But in this situation, I'm really grateful that Iranian members has the opportunity to receive the light of the Lord, and the light of Lord El Kantara has protected them. This is really amazing. In many cases, they have experienced miracles, not only miracles of being protected by the government, but also miracles of being healed from their own illnesses, and also miracles of creating harmony in the family, or harmony at home. Because just imagine such situation. It is very natural for human mind to just to go crazy, and people attack each other. There is a situation in Iran very similar to Soviet Union, that the brother cannot trust brother, and it happened very much inside the Sangha. The wife could not trust the husband, and the husband could not trust the wife. Nobody knows who is working with government. This is their policy. They have a very specialized policy to make people insane, because when people are insane, you can easily control them. They have created a very sophisticated, I believe, policy that they gain control over the minds of people. So many members called me and told me I cannot trust my husband. I am God for the regime, and I experienced it many times. In such very difficult situation, I just try to nurture them as much as possible with the light of the Lord, and I saw many miracles. That's why I'm totally confident that during these times of coming turbulences that Mr. Muruka mentioned, the only thing that can save people is faith to the Lord. And it's unshakable my soul, like for more than 150 days, every day and night. It's not like just reading the news. I lived with their suffering and I experienced their suffering with all my soul. So I would like to share with you a video about the change that one of the members has experienced after encountering happy science.
سلام خدمت همه دوستان. من فروردین ماه زمانی که برای 13 درس خارج شده بودیم توی یه جاده خیلی وحشتناک ترمز ماشینمون برید و من پشت فرمون بودم، نتونستم ماشین کنترل کنم. ولی چیزی که به ذهنم رسید این بود که به یه ماشین که سرعت ماشینم گرفته بشه و من آسیب ببینم، من بمیرم نهایتا، ولی خانواده‌ام مشکل برشون پیش نیاد. من تصمیم رو گرفتم و ماشینم رو زدم به ماشین جلویی و اتفاق افتاد، تصادف اتفاق افتاد و من برای چند هزارم ثانیه، نمیدونم چقدر زمان بود، ولی نفسم قطع شد. پیش خودم تو چند ثانیه، حالا نمیدونم چقدر، گفتم که اگه مرگ اینه چقدر مرگ آسونه و من راحت شدم. با یه تکون نفسم برگشت و دیدم که گیر افتادم پشت سرمون. تایر ماشین زده بود زیر فرمون ماشین فرمون رفته بود بالا و من اینجا محبوس شده بودم. خب من از اونجا کشیدم بیرون، زانوم شکست، دنده ها 5 تا شکسته بود، ستون فقراتم شکست، بینیم شکست، لبم کلا پاره شده بود و هیچ کس امیدی به زنده موندن من نداشت. اما خواست خداوند برای من چیز دیگه ای. خیلی درد کشیدم، خیلی از لحاظ جسمی و حتی از لحاظ روحی، زمانی که اون تصادف یادم میومد و اینکه بچه ها هم آسیب دیدن، حالا نه آسیب خیلی زیاد ولی همونی هم که دیده بودن خیلی منو اذیت میکرد. همین الان که دارم ازش حرف میزنم واقعا تمام میگم. بعد از چند ماهی، 2-3 ماه که گذشت، به پیشنهاد یکی از دوستان خیلی عزیزم از طریق اینستاگرام با گروه فعالان حقیقت آشنا شدم و وارد گروه شدم. اول خیلی برام سخت بود اینکه یه سری باورها و عقاید کهنه رو بخوام بذارم کنار و دل بدم با آموزه‌های استاد بکنم. اما چون همیشه تشنه حرکت بودم، همیشه تشنه یادگیری بودم، این کار برای خودم باید کردم و انجامش دادم. خیلی گلایه داشتم، خیلی مزاحم آقای ما میشدم، خیلی بی‌شکل داشتم چرا این اتفاق افتاد، چرا من که این همه خدمت میکردم به مردم، توی انجیوهای مختلف فعالیت داشتم، توی مکتب‌های مختلف همینطور. اما یه زمانی آقای ما اینو به من گفتن که اگر تو این تصادف مرده بودی هیچ موقع با تعالیم حقیقت باشه. باعث شد که من یه خورده آروم بگیرم و کمتر بخوام خودم هستم. خیلی بهم پیشنهاد میدادن که کتاب بخونم، توی مراقبه ها شرکت کنم و من اینو برای خودم باید کردم. یه زمانی حتی مهمان بودیم اما من هنسفری داخل گوشم بود، صدام به آقای ما بود ولی جسمم تو مهمونی بود. تا اینکه کم کم در مورد محراب کمونزون دیدن صحبت میکنم و خیلی مشتاق شدم که من هم این محراب بکنم. خیلی آروم شدم، خیلی یعنی خودم متوجه میشم از درون که اتفاقایی داره برای من میفته و چه تغییراتی دارم مشاهده میکنم. تمام دعاها رو برای خودم نوشتم توی این دفترچه، از دعا به درگاه خداوند شروع کردم و ادامهش که زمانی که آقای نیما مراقبه انجام میده من بتونم همزمان و بشنوم و هم صبح و هم شب در مقابل مهراب بسیار بسیار معنوی و زیبای گمانزار میشینم و خودم و زندگیم و بچه هم و هر چی که دارم ولی مال من نیست، امانت دست من نیست و به خود خداوند رو براشون دعا میکنم. با دنیای پر از سوال وارد شدم توی این مسیر. خیلی از سوالاتم هنوز جواب داده نشده، اما زمانی که میدونم یه روزی قراره به اونجا برسم که روی خودم کار کنم، روی خودم باشم، این خیلی به من امیدواری میده و کمکم میکنه که همچنان مشتاقانه و صبورانه توی این مسیر بمونم. از زمانی که مهراب معنوی وارد خونه من شد خیلی دردسر برام یهویی اتفاق افتاد. بحث و مشاجره بین من و بچه‌هام، بین من و خانواده‌ام، بین من و هم عروسام، اینا همه اتفاق افتاد. اما زمانی که تو گروه دیدم که من تنها نیستم و برای بقیه هم داره این اتفاقا میفته و دلیلش و منشأش چیه، اینا همه به من امید میداد که مهران صبوری کن و این اتفاقا هم میگذره. چند روز پیش یه مشاجری بین من و چمام پیش اومد. الان 3 روز 4 روز میگذره از این قضیه. هنوز قلبم فشرده است، هنوز احساس ناراحتی میکنم که چرا من نتونستم خودم رو کنترل کنم، نتونستم جواب ندم. ولی مرتب تو دعاهام دارم براشون عشق میفرستم، دارم براشون طلب مغفرت میکنم و از خدا میخوام که قلبم رو آروم کنه. به خاطر صورتم که هم بینیم شکسته و هم لبم این شکلی شده خیلی احساس خود کمبینی داشتم. هم الان یه وقت استراحم میاد، اما از اونجایی که همیشه آقای ما داره میگه که این جسم فانیه و قرار چند وقت مهمان ما باشه و بعد ما بریم و چرخه‌های بعدی و جمع‌های بعدی رو تجربه کنیم، یه خورده دلم آروم میگیره و امروز تونستم خودم قانع کنم که این کلیپ رو برای دوستان عزیزی که من اومدم در کنارشون قرار گرفتم بفرستم و بگم که مهرانا کسیه که تشنه آموزش‌های حقیقت، تشنه یادگیریه و از خدا میخوام که کمکم کنه بتونم در ایمان و گروهش اینجای ایران بتونن پایدار بمونن و تا زمانی که نفس میکشم توی این جهان استبدادی بتونم فقط در مسیر حقیقت قدم بردارم. مرسی از آقای ما که این اجازه رو به من داد و این فرصت رو به من داد. دست تک تکتون تو قلبم میبوسم و همتون رو دوست دارم. ممنون.
Mehran, the lady that you just saw, she had a very terrible accident, and at that time she was with her whole family, and her husband was in the front seat, and 2 children they were on the back seat, and she was the driver at that moment, and it was at night, and in the while they were driving on the road, she realized that the brake is not working, and they had almost 120 kilometers speed. So she just tried several times and just realized that there's no brake in the car working. So she had to decide, and she knew that there would be a terrible accident because there were many other cars in the highway. She decided to hit the car from her own side, from the driver's side, so that she will be she will receive the most casualties and injury. It was in a matter of less than 1 second. Everything just happened so short, and eventually she was hurt so badly. 5 ribs were totally broken, and the steering wheel was like almost inside the body. It's because it was really hard, and the car was not really a standard car. Due to economic situation in Iran, just like other like South American countries or some even maybe some part of China, there are some cars are not so much standards. So in such a car crash, there would be so much damage, and her face was totally crushed because so many like broken glass were inside the face. Like the mouth was totally teared, and the nose was like totally crushed, and she was out of her body for few minutes, and after that was forced back to her body. At that for a long time, she had so much pain, but always blaming God that why God didn't let her die. Why should she suffer so much? And at that time, she was in the hospital, and uh, she had nothing to do because she had so much pain. In such situations, some people they just take their mobile phone and just aimlessly surf the internet to forget the pain. And one friend suggests about the Instagram page of Happy Science Iran. At that time, the name was Teachings of the Truth. So she sent me a message. Later, she told me that she felt, and I responded the message, and she just said, "I have so much pain." And from that point, we started communicating with each other, and I conveyed the truth to her. So that was about her miraculous experience.
How long ago?
It was like 5 months ago.
Oh, only.
Yes.
She looks like she recovered a lot.
Yes, it was like really, more than 5 months. The accident happened at March. Yeah, sorry, Miss.
Okay, nothing in mind. So whatever happens, we can strengthen our faith in the country and to have to firmly establish a country of faith is one of the ways to survive hardships. And the country belief can be expressed as the form of devotion to the three treasures. Not just saying I believe in a country is not enough. Devotion to the three treasures is devotion to Buddha, and this Buddha is not Shakyamuni Buddha, but the consciousness of Elkantara, who has descended as Alpha 300 million years ago, and then descended as Elohim 150 million years ago, and now he was here as Master Ryoka. This is our Buddha. Okay? Then devotion to Dharma. Dharma means the teachings of Elkantara, which it as the fourfold path of love, wisdom, and self-reflection and progress. Then devotion to Sangha. Sangha is happy science. And in the sutra, the place of discipline, Master says that the Sangha is the vehicle of the ideal and guide to the land of Buddha. So Sangha is created to realize the Buddha land utopia. So first we have to establish utopia inside the Sangha. If you believe in Elkantara, you have to devote yourself to these three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And devotion has a very deep meaning. Master said that devotion means giving up and offering your own freedom. Yeah? Giving up and offering your own freedom for the sake of one thing that you believe to be holy. Choosing your own life. This is the meaning of devotion. You must have seen the monk in Tibet throw the whole body on the ground. So this is the expression of devotion. So we don't do that, but in spiritually, we have to devote ourselves to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. But this is the elementary belief. Okay. Dharma friends in Iran, they are suffering, but at the same time, they are strengthening their faith in elementary. Okay. And second, quietly accept your workbook of life. Workbook of life. So from now on, definitely you will face some problems, but at that time, please as your own workbook of life. One of the psychologists in the United States, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, she called for 5 stages of grief. When you encounter sudden grief, for example, you are diagnosed as a fatal disease like cancer, loved ones, or like that Iranian lady, you encounter the traffic accident. At the time, how you accept the reality, in order to accept the reality, you will go through those 5 stages, she said. This is for ordinary people, not for happiness members, but ordinary people will go through those 5 stages. First, denial. You deny the reality. I'm just having a nightmare, like this. Then you get angry. Like, why me? Why me? I have been living a very honest life. I'm always faithful follower of God. But why me? Why this happened to me? Or because of my husband, he is always giving me stress. I'm suffering this disease. Because of my boss, or because of my friend, or because of my environment, this happened to me. So you get angry at the environment, or you get angry at others, or you get angry at yourself. This is the second stage. And third, bargaining. You try to bargain with God. From now, I will become more ardent. Is suffering from me, like this. You try to bargain with God. Then, if this doesn't work, you will get depression. Then, finally, you will accept the reality. But ordinary people go and back repeatedly. And in the meantime, their sufferings double and triples. They continue suffering before they accept the reality. So if this kind of things happens to you, what kind of mindset you should have? Okay, let's listen to Master's lecture from the Feel the Miracle. Just for a few minutes. Please listen carefully.
The miracle. Suffering comes from your feelings of self-protection. As long as you try and try to run away from that suffering, you will never be able to escape it. You just cannot do it. Give it up. Just give it up. Stop lashing out at others. Stop beating yourself up. Stop lashing out at your children and accept that everything that is happening to you at any given moment is something that is meant to happen. Please understand that neither other people or the mistake you made caused the current situation, nor did it occur completely out of coincidence. The problems that have taken over your mind and are making you suffer were meant to occur. It is occurring because you need to face this challenge in your life right now. I hope you can think of God, the mind of Buddha. You all have the tendency to want your lives to sail to success without any stormy seas. There is not a single person whose life is planned that way. So while there are many pitfalls on the path ahead of you, you will only find out about them when you arrive at them. If you knew in advance that there was a hole in the road, it would be easy to get around it, wouldn't it? Not learn anything. Yes, it's a bit mean, and I'm sorry. But stumbling blocks are meant to be tripped over. And trip is exactly what you will do. Yes, you will assuredly stumble and fall. But when you do, consider that you did not fall coincidentally. That stumbling block was put in your path from the start. It was put there because it was necessary for you to trip on it. I invite you to embrace the belief that your problems are not there to make you suffer. They have been prepared to lead. You stand at the threshold of the path to salvation when you understand that your problems happen out of necessity. When you stop thinking that your problems are the fault of others, the environment, the government, your company, and your family, and humbly accept the series of problems that you are dealing with as your own, at one with the universe, you will find salvation already being realized. Shall I go over what I have said one more time? I am telling you to entrust everything to God, to Buddha. Entrust your all to El Cantare. You will find a new buoyancy as you embrace acceptance. A great energy to live will well up inside you. Then, as long as you are depending on your own strength and trying to protect yourself, the miracle will never happen. But just as I have said, the miracle will happen when you become one with the mind of the universe and entrust your very self to it. I hope that you will be able to extract that from experience.
This lecture is included in the last chapter, Feel the Miracle. So please, I hope you will go through it again. The master said that the problem that makes you suffer occur because they are meant to occur. Not just by accident. There are no coincidences in this world created by El Cantare. Accept the problem that has appeared. Okay? And calmly meditate, taking in the will of the great universe. Meditate and contemplate what the great universe is going to teach you from this experience. When you let go of your feelings or feelings for self-protection, the road to salvation will open up. Many people in this situation, many people try to protect their ego. But you should stop it. You should stop it. True yourself is much stronger than you think. So you don't need to protect yourself. If you stop protect yourself, you can feel the will of the great universe. Then the miraculous moment will come when you become one with the power of the great universe. So actually, I myself, and actually, I have never expected that I would suffer from cancer in my life because I've been living very, very healthy life. I never see a doctor and never admitted to the hospital. But suddenly I was diagnosed with the cancer last November, and I need to take operation. Yeah, but before I took the operation, I need to check whole my body. Yeah. So at that time, I thought because I'm a sub member of Happy Science, so I never fear my death. Yeah, that's so sure. But I contemplate why I got this disease in my body. So I thought two possibilities from the spirit world. Because from now, many people are supposed to die. Many people. So there must be spirits who can save those stray spirits and guide them to the proper spirit world. And most of the Happy Science staff members are Japanese, and those who can speak English or foreign language are very less. Those stray spirits in the spirit world. So I might be chosen. So I have to, it's kind of the personal transfer from this world to the other world. But if it is the God's decision, I can never say no. So that's one possibility. And second possibility is, it's as usual, my negative thought created this need to practice self-reflection more deeply. Yeah. So then I checked my whole body. So I thought if the cancer already spread to other parts of my body, the treatment will be very difficult. Not only surgery, but I need to take chemotherapy or something. But I don't want to do that. If cancer already spread to my body, I have to go back to the spirit world. So I want to do anything, just follow the instruction of the spirit world. But fortunately, the cancer is just restricted in the region and never spread to my body. So then I was convinced that this cancer was created by my thought. So I need to practice self-reflection more deeply and become stronger. Then I took the surgery and admitted to the hospital for 10 days for the first time in my life. Yeah. But it's very precious opportunity for me to see the people in the hospital who are suffering from many kinds of diseases. And of course, most of them don't know the truth. Yeah. So they are worried about their future. Of course, they are fearing their death. So in the evening, many people are standing on the window side, seeing the sunset. And I could imagine what they are thinking, seeing the sunset. Yeah. Of course, they are thinking about their life, yeah, about their future, or about their family, without knowing the truth. So I could confirm God and also in the spirit world. And I also I could confirm true myself is not this body, but it's truly a spirit. Spirit residing in this body is true myself. So if I couldn't have this disease, I wouldn't be able to manifest to this level. So actually, I'm thankful for El Cantare for giving me this precious opportunity. So I haven't lost anything due to this disease, but I could get more experiences and I could get more wisdom through my experience. So that's why I strongly recommend expecting tragedy or something. Please remember these words of wisdom. This is the truth. This is the truth. So as long as you keep these words in your mind, you can never be unhappy. You can never be happy. Only happiness is waiting for you in your future, whatever the circumstances. And in the book, The Laws of Hell, Master also teaches us. So even if you experience suffering and sadness in this world, you must not regard them as your life itself. Experience is just an experience. Only when you learn from it, the truth shall shed its light. Please don't forget this. So this world is a training ground. We are for your study, for your lessons. Okay. So now the mindset necessary to survive the era of crisis, we learn two things. Firmly establish El Cantare belief. And second, quietly accept your outlook of life. And third, raise your enlightenment. Yeah. Raise enlightenment. Science is a what is enlightenment?
In the first place, we talked about it earlier. This enlightenment in the first place, I think is to know
what human being is.
Yes.
Okay, I see. Yosei-san, どうですか?
What is enlightenment? To be close to the God?
Should we?
To be close to the God.
Close to okay, go close. So we should, in order to attain enlightenment, we should know what is enlightenment, right? And before you came down to this world, you were where you were.
In the heavenly world.
Yeah, you are in heaven, somewhere in heaven. We don't know it's fifth dimension or sixth dimension, but somewhere in heaven we came from. From there we came down to this world. And when you live in heaven, do you think your mind?
So what did you say? So?
When you are in heaven, do you think your mind is the same with now?
With love.
Now, yes. Your mind when you are in heaven, and your mind when you are now. You're here now. Do you think it's the same? No, yeah. Yes. When you are in heaven, your mind was not disturbed by worldly desires. Yeah. Worldly desires come from physical body. Yeah, because now you have physical body, yeah, it's very, very difficult to cut off all those worldly desires in order to survive. In order to survive in this world as a human, you need to have some certain level of desires. You won't be able to survive in this world. But when you are in heaven, you don't need such kind of desires at all. So your mind, when you are in heaven, must be very different from that you have now. Do you understand? But if you live in this world with a mind that you used to have in heaven, so this is the enlightenment.
To be more pure.
Yeah, it must be pure. It must be more pure. Can you imagine?
Without attachment to five senses.
Yeah. You don't have any attachment
Without being disturbed.
worldly matters, of course. So now we have to recover that kind of mind in this world. And if we could do this, we can say we attained enlightenment. We are given many teachings and we are trying to put them into practice. All those things are for attaining enlightenment. So now do you understand what enlightenment is? Okay? So in order to attain enlightenment, I recommend you to use this precious sutra book, the Dharma of the Right Mind. And Master teaches us how we can use this sutra book for our spiritual discipline. He told us there are five ways. First, always carry the sutra with you. Do you do this? And second, reciting the sutra. And third, learning the sutra by heart. Memorize it. So you can recite anytime, anywhere, without sutra book. And four, explaining the sutra. If you can explain, okay. Then fifth, transcribing the sutra. You just copy the sutra by your handwriting. It's also very good to deepen your understanding. So Master recommends us these 5 ways for our spiritual discipline. And this sutra includes 7 sutras. The first one is the 2 words spoken by Buddha. Step-by-step teachings. And 5, Buddha's teaching, the Eightfold Path. And this, the pledge of the discipline, this sutra teaches us the pledge to the devotion, pledge of devotion to the 3 treasures is a starting point of our spiritual discipline. Okay? So when you pledge devotion to the 3 treasures, your spiritual discipline has started. Discipline yourself in proper way. Then next sutra, Buddha's enlightenment, shows the goal of your spiritual discipline. Okay? So first he shows the start and goal. Then step-by-step teaching, he shows how to achieve the goal. You pledge devotion to the 3 treasures, and you understand the goal. He shows the 2 ways to achieve this goal. First way is to achieve the 5th dimension, and second way is to achieve the 6th dimension. And next, the Buddha's teaching, the Eightfold Path. If you master the Eightfold Path, you will achieve the up the sixth dimension, which is called Arhat. Arhat. In Japanese, Arakan. This is our goal of our spiritual discipline. A master encourages us, everyone can achieve this level, Arhat. And if happy science can have 1,000 Arhats, they can change Japan, and they can also change the world. So for us, we 1,000 Arhat. This is what Master says in 1987. Yeah. So to raise your enlightenment, please use these teachings included in this sutra. Yeah. And in the sutra, Words of Wisdom, Buddha's enlightenment, it goes like 4 pains are hard to overcome. But when you turn towards Buddha, you hear the words. Listen, people, birth, aging, illness, and death are the truth. But there is a sword to cut through your suffering. This is the power of enlightenment. Not only 4 pains, there are also 8 pains. Can you explain? 8 pains. In addition to the 4 pains, what are 8 pains?
The pain of living with those people who we dislike, the pain of departing from the ones we love, the pain of not getting what we want, and also the pain of the fourth one was
You are unable to control.
Unable to control
worldly desires.
Worldly desires, yes.
So in this life, everyone will encounter those pains. But those pains are the truth. What means the truth? These pains are scheduled to be there by Elkantar.
For our spiritual discipline.
Yeah, yes, for our spiritual discipline, or they give the opportunity to you to encounter the truth. Just like the lady in Iran, because she encountered the car accidents, she was given the opportunity to open her eyes to the truth. Okay? So after you encounter the truth, you have to have the power of enlightenment that cut out the sufferings. Yeah. So what is the power of enlightenment? Your worldly desires are not you. So what egoless mean? What does egoless mean?
To being free from the false self, everything that is not the true nature of ourselves, but has been created through the environment and atmosphere we are living in.
Yes. So what is it that you recognize through your 5 senses? Nietzsche, do you understand 5 senses?
Hearing, seeing, touching, smelling. What?
Mouth, tongue.
Yeah, tongue is
taste.
Tasting.
Tasting, yes. Or spiritual consciousness. But through ourselves cannot be recognized through those 5 senses. You that you recognize through 5 senses is just ego. So if you become egoless, you have to understand that your worldly desires are not you. And if you become void, void is also expressed as emptiness. Emptiness. And void means everything is created by spiritual element, temporarily. Yeah. If you become void, you will see that the spirit is the source of all things. And that. So now, from our eyes, with our naked eyes, we can see this altar is really exist. This podium is really exist. This table is exist. This is the PC. Yeah, but actually, everything is created by the small spiritual elements, spiritual particles. Yes, temporarily. So after a while, everything will disappear. Yeah. So now we are living in the world. Yeah. And the spirit world is the real world, that which is really existing. Yeah. This world is just illusion. This is a teaching of void. Yeah. So now you think you are suffering, but it's just a dream. It's just a dream illusion. This is the teaching of void. So if you have some kind of enlightenment, yeah, and with this enlightenment, you can cut out your suffering. Okay? And also in the book, The Laws of Hell, Master says, the light that dwells within human beings is originally a particle of God's light, or Buddha's soul. Yeah. So true yourself is not Nietzsche, but just the part of Elkantare, part of Elkantare's light, just resides in your body. It doesn't have any name. In other words, there is a huge tree, and you are just the one of the leaves at the top of a small branch of this big tree. And leaf doesn't have any name. Yeah? And mission of the leaf is to grow this tree itself. Not grow yourself, but grow this through ourselves. So if this world is illusion and temporary, you might think it doesn't matter what I do, yeah, because it's just illusion. Yeah? It doesn't matter what happens. It's just temporary. Yeah? Sooner or later, we will go back to the real world. Yeah? So it doesn't matter what kind of life I will lead. So this way of thinking is right or not? Okay. In the book, The Silent Buddha, and this book is not yet translated in English, but in this book, he said that while it is true that everything is illusionary, there are actually many things in this world why we do not know. There are people, including you and me. Yeah, there is Nima, there is Richen. Yeah. The sky, clouds, rain, rivers, mountains, fields, plants, vegetables, rice. What is it that makes this great world exist? What makes this world appear as such a beautiful work of art? It is the great will, the eternal Buddha's great compassion that makes this phenomenal world continue existing. When you realize that all things are here for the benefit of your existence, to make you live and advance, and that all that seems negative in this world, including pain and sorrow, is here to guide you to a higher level of existence, then a wonderful heaven-like world beings to appear before your eyes. Yeah. So it's just illusion, but this illusionary world created by compassion of benefit for our spiritual growth. All things are illusion, and yet at the same time, wonderful works of art. All things are illusion, and yet at the same time, wonderful works of art. Once you understand these two seemingly contradictory ideas, you can start living with courage and hope while abandoning attachments. Yeah. This is a kind of attain enlightenment. You can live in this world with courage and hope, and at the same time, you can abandon the worldly attachment. Okay. Okay. So now I explain three things to have a mindset necessary to survive the era of crisis. First, we should firmly establish elementary belief. Okay? Coincident. It occurs because it was meant to happen. And third, we have to raise our enlightenment. We are now living in the illusory world, temporary world, which is created by compassion of Elkantara for our spiritual discipline. Okay, so if then with this mindset, if we can survive these tribulations, what we should do? Of course, we have to save other people who don't know the truth, who don't know how to survive. So in the book, the Lord, with all your might, please do as much as you can in your given time, in a given lifetime. We don't know how much more we can live in this world. Yeah? But while we are on earth, we should do everything what we can do. And if we leave this world, still we will continue our movement of salvation in the spirit world, because there will be many stray spirits who are waiting for our salvation. Okay? And I sincerely pray from my heart that each one of you will fulfill your great mission to save the mind of each person one by one. Okay? What we should do is to save not save a physical life, okay, but save the mind of each one of them. Okay? Physical life will disappear. Physical life will end sooner or later. But if you save the mind of the people, he can live eternally in the spirit world happily. So that is our mission. Okay, thank you very much. So this concludes my lecture. And here I want to invite Satoshi. He wants to give us his messages. はい、支部長すみません、お待たせしました。
村上部長、
そうだね。そうだね。あ、ごめんなさい。そうだね。そうだね。
Recording stopped.
OK です。はい。
Yes, so thank you so much, Moroka-san, for giving us the lecture, first of all. And thank you, Lord Alcantara, for giving us the laws of health. And now we understand the meaning of the laws of health. And yeah, it seems like an age of fear. But when I open it, and also when we understand the meaning of it, we understand the health he referred to is actually the way to heaven. So I really appreciate the example from Nima-san, I mean, also the Moroka-san's example. So I really appreciate this time. And it just reminds me of the spiritual message of Nostradamus. So Nostradamus gave us the spiritual message last year, and he predicts the lumbering age, like in each age. But the thing he referred to in the lecture is actually he is saying to all of us, miracle. When the humankind look back to this age, they will know this is the age that we can experience the happiness the most. So now we just took a glimpse of the example why he said this is the age of miracle or this is the age of happiness. So I really want to spread this. We really want to spread this truth, the laws of health. And let me explain activities in February from Happy Science London. Number one is a lecture or seminar or book club by Richard in Mandarin. It's going to be a first experience, and we really want to support it. So if you find any Chinese friends living in China or speak, please invite them to the seminar. It's going to be Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock. So I'm going to announce it. And the second thing is the seminar about the members' testimony from Iran. So Moroka-san now show us some example, but end of this month, end of the February, I think 20th or 19th, staff member Nima-san is going to conduct a seminar, and which is about the invincible thinking. And the invincible thinking is a way of faith to overcome any difficulty with the power of faith. So it's actually a very suitable seminar for those who are suffering in difficulty. And he gave us so many examples of difficulties with faith. And the third thing is an open day. End of this month, end of the February, we are going to have an open day. An open day is an event to invite neighbors or friends or families of us to the temple. So we are drawing them to the temple, and we are going to show us who we are, how happy we are, and how wonderful future we are going to create. The world we are going to create is with neighbors, and so we want to realize the success in Chinese seminar and Iranian seminar, and also open day. So we are going to become really busy. So please, I would appreciate your help and support. And on the contrary, we need to start. We need more energy. So that's why we have to deepen our energy a lot. So we offer you so many seminars about family utopia, the laws of health, and also the seminars for missionary health status. So I will promise you to keep updated and let us realize 3 important events of February: Chinese event and Iranian event, and also open day. So again, for attending, and thank you very much for giving us the direction, Moroka-san and also Lord Elkantai.
Where now?
Yes, it's now.
It's like heaven.
I'm in the
Looks like.
Yes, I'm in the Philippines.
Oh, Philippines.
And I just saw first lecture by Ted-san, face to face. It was about the lecture of the laws of health. Yeah, he talked about the master's expectation of members. And members are now really happy about his lecture too.
Is it temple? Happy Sun's temple?
Yeah. Yes, we conduct the seminar in the temple. But we have 3 branches.
Virtual background.
Yes,
This is spiritual.
I see. Okay.
It's not beautiful.
Okay, I see. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you so much.
Elizabeth, thank you for joining us from France. Messages from France.
Well, I have many messages. Only I'm trying to, with the help, of course, helping Joe to get more readers for this wonderful trilogy that is called Unknown Stigmata. I think it's difficult for it to find a public, and we would like to increase the awareness for this book, even if it's not much. But so maybe we're going to design a flyer with Joe in order to maybe distribute, in the street and bus and things like that, so that French people from Paris might have some curiosity. Of course, maybe it won't be millions. I'm hoping, but okay. But at least if there are, some people that come to and buy it and read it, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. I wish you great success.
Thank you.
And Gordon-san from Switzerland. Hello, nice to meet you.
Thank you very much for giving us such a great lecture. This teaching, like for many years, but you really made it this time. You combined the most important parts of the teaching and just helped me to realize once again how important the teaching is, just in combination with the laws of the health. And also those 3 points which are very important just to survive the age of crisis. And like in Switzerland, Midori and me and some other members was also trying to spread the teachings and to organize meditations and seminars and spread the flyers and books, just in the hope that we also get new members. So thank you.
Thank you. All the best.
Hi,
All the best. Gordana.
Missed you. It's Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Gordana.
Oh, Yoshi!
Let's go. Let's
see you.
go.
Oh, great.
Let's go down.
Great to see you. Are still the same.
Thank you.
Stella. Stella, can you hear me? Oh, Stella's not there.
Yeah, why aren't we so loud? So I'm so sorry. You
Oh,
might
okay.
not be able to hear me properly.
Are you in London?
Yeah. Yeah, I am. But I'm sort of away lecture. I wish I'd have been there today because it was so invigorating. It was so good. But thank you so much. At least I've managed to get online.
Okay.
But thank you so much.
Thank you very much for
a great
joining.
lecture.
Thank you.
And lots of love to everyone.
Hi, Stella.
Bye.
Lots of
Thank you so
love.
much. Bye. Lots of love. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Maxine.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Oh, Netherlands.
Thank you, Margaret-san, for an amazing lecture. It was so powerful, and especially hearing Nima-san's members' testimonies. That was so moving. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Margaret-san, would you like to say something?
Yeah, Nima-san's story always very impressive. But it's also like whatever each of us we find out like our own work and so to save other people.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, could you please?
Yeah, this is Pascal and Mona Lisa. Yes. So thank you so much for Amsterdam, and we really look forward to supporting the activities in London and all over Europe. So
Okay.
thank you, everyone.
So are you coming to London soon, right?
Yes.
Teaching the course.
We are waiting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hiromi-san, bye.
Thank you. It was
Bye.
great. Bye, everyone. Bye.
じゃあ池村さん気をつけて。Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. This is a really good story. I mean,
This is bar to a country with gratitude. And place to raise our enlightenment together. This precious opportunity to learn your teachings deeply. And we will engrave your teachings to my heart, to our heart, and put them into practice and raise our enlightenment. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
thank you. Ken-san, are you okay now? Okay.
そうなんですよ。
What you know about? Yeah.
もう出身までは結構痛みがあって、だけどなるべく痛い方がいいと思って、痛み止めは全部痛かったら言ってくださいって言われたんですけど、やりたくないですって全部拒否して、で、
You can speak in English.
Yeah, I reject all painkillers. Yeah, because for me, the pain is also important to.
You're brave. If me, I'm gonna scream. Give me something. Wow, brave.
So yeah, while feeling pain, I could look into my inside. Because if I focus on my outside, the pain will become bigger. Yeah?
I see.
So in order to distract myself from pain, I need to look into myself. And I need to more spiritually. So I reject all the painkillers.
So you stay hospital only 10 days, you said?
Yeah, after the stitches were removed, I totally free from pain.
Wow.
Yeah,